Here's an example of an NRCS contract that is helping Howard and Lori Webb with their land in Sutter Creek, California.
I'm Howard Webb. My wife Lori and I live on this property of 36 acres. My friend Bobby Broderick, a forester, was touring an adjacent property one day and looked at my property, and we got to talking about how this was a likely candidate for federal assistance in fuel reduction. So here we are now on a site that's been partially cleared, and we are in the process of getting the fuels reduced.
My name is Bob Broderick. I'm a registered professional forester. I've known Howard for a long time, and we noticed that this area was pretty dense and could use some fuel reduction treatment. There's a lot of brush here, a lot of dead manzanita. In areas like this, when you have houses out in the forest here, it's beneficial to remove some of that brush to give a more open landscape like it was traditionally in the past.
This area here used to be just choked with trees and brush. Around my house I worked very hard to create a defensible space, but most of the property is uphill. Too far, too steep where I can't get to it. I couldn't have cleared this area without federal assistance. At first I was hesitant to use government funds. The scope of this project required the use of heavy equipment, and to do so would have eaten up a large portion of my net worth. So I had Bobby write a plan. It was approved and we are underway. The funds from NRCS has made this project possible. Bobby says when the project's done, we're going to be able to see a forest instead of a wall. It's a wonderful side benefit.
This area is beyond the sight distance of the Webb home. To meet the fuel hazard reduction objective while keeping costs down, the degree of cleanup is less than for an area where a park-like appearance is desired. The remaining slash will decompose over a period of 2 years, but the landowners could pile and burn if they choose. Matt is here to inspect the work that's been done on the first 7 acres completed. When he approves the work, he is then able to authorize payment for that portion of the completed work. The work on the remaining areas then proceeds until all 3 steps of the plan are completed. Matt will be back to inspect the rest of the work. It's good for you, and it's good for the land.
I'm Matthew McNichol. I'm a forester with the Natural Resources Conservation Service. We're a non-regulatory agency under the United States Department of Agriculture. We offer technical and cost share assistance programs to private agricultural producers under the Farm Bill. This can be on forest lands, livestock production, and food crop. So we're here today to inspect some of the work that's been done on Howard's contract so far. We're going to walk and see how things are going.
The masticator crew has bought a new unit that will allow them to clear the brush off these steeper slopes.
It'll be a lot easier to get some of these acres done. So as you can see, the first step of the contract is mastication, which uses a mechanical process to shred vegetation in place. What it does is first significantly decreases the wildfire hazard by reducing fuel levels, and it also creates an opportunity to increase the amount of conifers grown, which will ultimately increase the diversity in the forest stand.
Whoa, check out this big boy. Ride him, cowboy.
I realized that it was not going to be just a selfish endeavor. By me preventing catastrophic fire around my own home, I was helping the habitat of the forest, helping the wildlife, and even helping the neighbors too.
If you're a forest landowner in California and you have goals for your property, or you think you might have some forest health issues, we'd like to work with you on developing a conservation plan and providing technical assistance.
There are different methods to use in the reduction of hazardous fuel, and that's what we're about to see on Steve's property. Steve Cannon bought the ranch from the Garibaldi family in 1997 and named it La Madrona Ranch because of the prevalence of madrone trees on the property.
Hi, I'm Steve Cannon and we're here on my ranch. As a registered professional forester, I was aware of the NRCS and the programs that are available for helping people in the areas of forest land management, wildlife habitat improvement, and fuel hazard reduction. So I wrote a long-term management plan for my property, and I use it as a guide in our forest management activities. La Madrona Ranch is a 138-acre property that we manage for timber production, wildlife habitat, watershed protection, and our own personal recreation. Part of the long-term goals that I've committed to in our management plan involve the thinning of the forest to enhance tree growth and to reduce forest fuels and protect the land against wildfire. What you're seeing is called fuel hazard reduction, that I accomplish by removing brush and small trees that could carry a fire into the crowns of larger trees.
In strategic locations on the ranch, I am removing small trees with a chainsaw and then piling the brush and trees with my bulldozer for burning later in the year when the fire danger is lower. I want to leave a mix of species for biological diversity and forest health.
The work involved in creating a healthy forest is arduous. This before shot of Steve's land speaks volumes to just how much work goes into the task at hand. Now what you're looking at here is a result of the fuel hazard reduction work on La Madrona Ranch, 1.5 years after the piling and burning was done. Because Steve's property is used for recreation, he has taken the time to clear it for his needs. For more information on these programs and others available, contact the Amador Resource Conservation District, the ARCD, at area code 209-223-6543, or visit their website, amadorrcd.org.